What is up, everybody, and welcome to Podcasting with Power. Moving on. We're moving through the year. I feel like October flew by.
It did.
It did.
It really did.
I'm Zachary Davis. That's Jordan Carlson. How you doing this week, man?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty good.
You know how hard it is before we do the show to not ask you questions like that? I have to because I want to know, but I don't want to retread it, 5 minutes later.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. Because today we had a little bit of conversation. Usually we jump right into record because we don't know what we're going to say, and it's just nice to be recording.
Yeah.
But today we had a little bit of conversation before.
We did, because we're going to try a wacky idea and we got to make sure it's going to work. So
yes,
that's okay. We'll get to that in a little bit. Tell me, I have a feeling I know where this is going, but tell me what you've been playing this past week.
Fucking Pokemon still, dude.
Yeah. I think I saw on Instagram, it looks like maybe you hit the credits.
Yep, I rolled credits yesterday or the day before, one of the 2 days.
I think you did it 2 days ago because I did it yesterday.
Okay.
And I was like, he got me.
Yeah, dude, I know. I was actually, I was feeling really proud of it. I was like, I'm not posting this so Zach sees it. I'm posting it because I want to, but I was like, this might be the first time.
Oh, yeah, but I saw it. And I was like, oh, man. No, that's cool. So how has your feeling on the game changed and kind of evolved now that you're not done? There is more to it after the credits roll.
Yeah.
Which we won't get into specifics, but how you feeling about it?
I loved it. I really, really loved it. It was and is still going to be very fun. I won't spoil anything, so if it sounds like I'm about to say something I shouldn't, I'm not going to actually say anything.
Okay.
But I was very delighted that post game feels like I'll still have a lot of stuff that's interesting still to do. I really loved, how things, some of the options that kind of opened up afterwards,
Okay.
And I it's funny because I realized too, near the end of the game that last week, I feel like I was complaining a lot. I was like, and I wish I could dodge better. And and I remember you being like, you can not lock onto the guys and maybe just reel them back,
Yeah, which is a pain. I don't love that system, and I really didn't love it at the end of the game.
No, oh my God.
I found that very frustrating.
Yes. Oh,
I don't want to steer anybody away from it, but I didn't care for that final fight. I've seen people online seem to like it.
I didn't care for the final fight. It was really challenging.
Yeah.
And but no, in that one, I think maybe in a couple of weeks, hopefully we can talk about that or off air or something. But yeah, that final fight was interesting. Very challenging. And then everything leading up to it was also really, really good. But I think leading up to it, all that stuff, I loved it. I loved everything that.
Oh yeah. It's epic. They did a great job with that.
Yeah. And we've talked before about tone and how a game can change your tone. How Arceus, how I spoke about that and how that tone changed. I felt that tone change in this one. I was like, yes, here it is. The tension,
Yeah.
So
yeah, I love the way it all kind of comes together at the end.
Yeah. So, I was stoked. I feel like I wish I would have done more of the side quests before I ended it, but I was just so eager to kind of see where things were going and honestly to kind of see what is available to me later on. So I did kind of rush that, I want to say, right when I was 75% through, I was like, I'm just going to push for it and just end it and see what I can do afterwards,
Yeah, you kind of hit a point in a open world game like this where you're just okay, I'm ready. I need to kind of figure out where this is going. Yeah, I agree. I think I'm more in line with you now than I was last week in terms of this being in my top 3 Pokemon games. Okay. I think I'm on board there. Yeah, I love it. One of the things that I really took to heart after our conversation was I have made it a point to really expand my team. I've been rotating, I probably have 12 Pokemon now that I've been rotating through. and there's a lot of type overlap. Chandelure is one I've come to really like, the ghost fire type.
Yeah.
Starts as a little candle. But, if I want to give Charizard a Gengar break, I pop him in. Abomasnow is great. I'm trying to think of who else.
Right.
I got a Tyranitar that I really like.
Ooh.
He's cool. Yeah.
Abomasnow's in my party now, too. I don't remember if he was last.
I think you were talking about using him. I kind of... He's one that I really ended up favoring over Victory Bell. Once I got him leveled up and stuff, I didn't really go back to Victory Bell very much.
Okay.
But so I do think that kind of helped this last half of the game for me. I've really made a point to train these guys up and use more of them. And I still feel like I've ignored half the Pokemon in the game, but
yeah, I know. It's I went on this hunt before the end of it to find some kind of electric Pokemon because I realized how much I was lacking in that department. So
sure.
I went on a hunt for something, and I ended up leveling up a Jolteon quite a bit, just evolving an Eevee and pushing Jolteon. It's just I feel weird when I have, because I do really gravitate towards alphas, and I don't mean to. I just do.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot online about the arguments of is it worth it? But it's the stat tree is definitely worth it, I think. But your hitbox is obviously bigger too, so it's I don't know.
It's funny. I never even really considered that part of it.
Yeah, I feel like I cannot move, especially Abomasnow. He's just gigantic. I feel like I can't move him out of the way fast enough. But so when I throw out Jolteon, it's just a little normal Jolteon. I feel like I'm throwing my weenie dog out there. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, but he's getting them. That's what we have. We do have a Pokemon story coming up, so we'll talk a little bit more about Pokemon Legends ZA. But let's knock out some housekeeping and get to it. Podcasting with Power is an independent podcast made by the two of us, and your support goes a long way. You can watch PWP on YouTube or Spotify, or listen on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else you get your podcasts. Wherever you are, we'd really appreciate if you'd follow, comment on, or review the show. You can keep up with us on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and more at Pod with Power. We post show updates, clips, and anything else we think you might find interesting. So check that out and help support the show. Jordan, I've got 7 Nintendo news stories for you this week. All better than the last, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember how I ordered them. But a lot of them are pretty cool. So let's dive right in. Story number 1. Zelda Breath of the Wild soundtrack is scoring a gorgeous vinyl release next year. This is by Jim Norman at Nintendo Life. Well, this is music to our ears. Nintendo has announced that it's teaming up with Laced Records to give the Breath of the Wild soundtrack the vinyl treatment next year in 2 stunning collections. We'll start with the biggie. A 130-track 8 LP box set is now available to pre-order from both Laced Audio and the My Nintendo Store for $195, with options for both colored and standard black vinyl. Each LP in the collection comes in a gorgeous sleeve with art from the game, all wrapped up in a sleek gold and blue box that we just know would look perfect on our shelves. There is a cheaper option you'll be pleased to hear. A 34-track 2 LP set is also available to pre-order for $49 in the same color options. This one is obviously not quite as beefy as its counterpart, but you'll still get the artwork sleeves with the key art cover. Here's a bit of the official blurb from Nintendo. The LP, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild soundtrack box set, includes 130 tracks, all newly remastered for the vinyl format. Each of the 8 discs is sequenced around a theme which mirrors the progression of the game experience. Themes revolve around exploring the Kingdom of Hyrule, freeing the Divine Beast from Calamity Ganon's hold, and discovering the mysteries of the shrines. The double LP set features 34 select tracks, including fan-favorite musical cues like Overworld Day, Great Fairy Fountain, and Hyrule Castle, all chosen to create an aural landscape that transports listeners back to the final days of the Great Calamity. Both of these collections will be available from June 19th, so you still have a little bit of time to save up your rupees, assuming you can get one before they sell out. I have a feeling you are going to be all over this.
Yeah.
So tell me, I think I know which collection you'll probably go for, but where are you at on this cool vinyl collection?
Man, it's hard to say. I feel like I do definitely gravitate towards these, especially the Zelda ones. You usually have to find them from I don't even know how to say, but just weird companies you've never heard of that make them.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't really know. What about you?
So I think this is very cool. I like you mentioned, it's not often we get like Nintendo's backing the way they seem to be behind this with these kinds of things. And I don't know, you look at like the 8-disc set and like it's got all of that artwork looks gorgeous. You know, I'll have it on the screen here in the YouTube video. But yeah, I mean, this is a beautiful set. My biggest gripe with it though is probably that as far as Zelda music goes, Breath of the Wild maybe isn't the game I think of when I think of Zelda music.
Right. No, it's definitely
So,
not.
you know, I get it. It's huge, it's popular, and it's current. But yeah, it wouldn't be my first choice for a Zelda soundtrack on vinyl. Um, but it's cool. And, you know, I didn't read this, but there's a little bit here about how part of the reason Nintendo is doing this is because they're trying to experiment with, you know, kind of gauging the demand of these kinds of products in the US.
Oh, see, man, that sucks that they're launching it with this then, because it's like I'd prefer like a Majora's Mask or Twilight Princess, honestly. My God.
Yeah.
So like I am into it. It's just that like you're right. It's just Breath of the Wild isn't the first place I'd go for Zelda music. Honestly, I don't think I really ever listen to Breath of the Wild music. But I do enjoy it as the background when playing the game, you know.
Of course, yeah. It's really well done if you do take the time to listen to it. I just don't ever want to,
right?
You know, because it's not stuck in my head the way that
no.
things might be from the games you mentioned or Ocarina of Time or anything like that.
Yeah, man. I feel like I'm whistling music from Zelda like at least every day, once a day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we'll see where this ends up in our collections if it makes it in there. Story number 2. Nintendo Switch 2 lacks a YouTube app at launch, but it's coming soon. This is by Dave LeClaire at Tom's Guide. The Nintendo Switch 2 is proving to be a very capable game console. Our Switch 2 review in progress is filled with praise for Nintendo's latest hybrid system. However, one notable omission from the console's capabilities is the absence of a YouTube app. Thankfully, YouTube fans won't have to wait long to get an app, as Google-owned YouTube says it's coming, quote, soon. The official YouTube X account posted that the company is working with Nintendo to bring the app to your Switch 2, as spotted by 9to5 Google. Quote, we're working with Nintendo to make YouTube available on the Switch 2 soon, reads the post. Currently, the YouTube app is available on the original Switch console, so it's not a stretch for the follow-up to have access to the popular streaming app as well. However, it's worth noting that it took more than a year for the app to launch on the Switch. Hopefully, YouTube and Nintendo are quicker this time.
Jeez.
It's interesting that the original YouTube app isn't compatible with the Switch 2, as plenty of games and other apps have made the jump between generations without issue. It doesn't seem like there'd be anything prohibiting the YouTube app from working, but there could be something else preventing the original app from running. Of course, the announcement comes after we heard that Hulu and other streaming apps wouldn't work on the Nintendo Switch 2, which clearly shows that Nintendo intends for the Switch 2 to be a gaming device first. You probably more than anyone I know have taken advantage of the YouTube app on the original Switch.
Yeah.
So how has it been a bummer that you can't do that on the Switch 2? Has that been like something you've really noticed?
Yeah, it has. Because like, you know, I'm out in my garage all the time, and the Switch is one of the first consoles that goes with me out there because of how easily portable it is. So like, you know, Saturday mornings through the summer, I'm out there hanging out, and I want to jump on YouTube sometimes. So like legitimately every morning, every Saturday morning, I'd be like, fuck.
Right.
You know, like it was annoying, and I don't get it, but yeah, no, I like using the YouTube app on the Switch. I think it's nice.
It's good to know that they're trying to make that happen, but you know, as this kind of points out, like, well, it doesn't really point out, but it mentions that the Switch 1 had Hulu, it had YouTube, but nothing else. Yeah. And that does feel like such a weird omission. Like, I don't know that it would necessarily be my first choice for those streaming platforms, but it's weird when you think how like crucial the Wii was to early Netflix when it came to streaming.
Yeah.
And now here we are, and you can't get the majority of those video apps on your Switch. Yeah. Does that ever bother you?
It's weird. I mean, I think I'd say there's probably a large demand for it. I mean, it's not like everyone's running around with all these options to do it. I know smart TVs are obviously out in abundance now. Most people have them, so it's not like it's a huge issue. But like, you know, some people don't. And it's nice to have something, especially like the Switch, where like I could be watching something on there in the bedroom and then go out to the living room and just dock it in, not have to worry about exiting, going into the YouTube app and fumbling around. Like, it's just nice to have these different services.
And from a portable standpoint, I just, went on vacation recently and I took both my iPad and the Switch. And if, the Switch had these video platforms, I might not have needed the iPad.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It feels like a no-brainer, but for whatever reason, they're not doing it. Mm-hmm. Story number 3. 2 classic Donkey Kong icons may soon join Bananza as unlockable figures. This is by Jim Norman at Nintendo Life. Eagle-eyed Donkey Kong Bananza fans have spotted an advertisement for the game's next event, and it sounds like the rewards will be quite familiar to those who played Donkey Kong 64 back in the day. Yes, as spotted by ex-user Upachan64, both Lanky Kong and Chunky Kong appear to be entering the fray as unlockable figures. This comes via the Japanese version of the Switch 2 News app, which states, quote, "In this event, you can unlock figures of Lanky Kong and Chunky Kong from Donkey Kong 64. Just like in Guard and the others, these are exclusive items that can only be obtained here, so please join in." It goes without saying that you'll need the Donkey Kong Bonanza DK Island and Emerald Rush DLC to access the in-game events. As for this one, judging from the screenshots attached to the news piece, it looks like it'll be taking place on the Hilltop Lair, one of the earlier locations in Bananza. Chances are we'll be getting an official announcement here in the West soon, so we'll be sure to let you know as soon as it happens. Now, I included this not even so much for the trophies. I know we've kind of talked about how underwhelming the Emerald Rush DLC is. But I mean, if they're putting these figures in the game, that means they're redesigning these guys. We haven't seen these guys in a long time.
Uh-huh.
And if they're redesigning them, they must have something planned, right?
Man,
Do you think this points to maybe more substantial DLC for Bananza with the Kongs?
If it didn't, what the fuck? Because like I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to go back and be like, oh boy, unlockable figures. Like, no, I'm not losing my shit over this. Like, I would have to imagine they're like, okay, so we have these assets now. I think we could use them for a little thing here on the, we could use them for something. But I would imagine, they're for something. I'm looking through the comments section in this article, and someone's like, "Bring Donkey Kong 64 to Switch, you cowards."
Yeah, I have big hopes for more DK. I love that game. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Story number 4.
All right.
Pokemon Legends ZA will make it easier to get ranked battle rewards. This is by James Ratcliffe at Game Rant. I tried so many times to pull up the actual article from Pokemon.com, and I just kept getting a 404 error.
Oh.
So I had to find an article about it. Anyway, Pokemon Legends ZA players looking to jump into ranked battles online will have a much smoother time in Season 2, as the Pokemon company announced Mega Delphox will be easier to obtain than previously announced. Additionally, Mega Greninja will be back as a reward in Pokemon Legends ZA Season 2, giving trainers a major opportunity to claim 2 Mega Stones throughout November. Initially, Mega Greninja and Mega Delphox required Pokemon Legends ZA trainers to participate in the game's ranked battle mode, which pits up to 4 players against one another in a free-for-all that lasts 3 minutes. While initial reception to this method of getting Mega Stones in Pokemon Legends was unenthusiastic, some fears were quickly quelled after trainers found out how quickly they could earn points and climb up the ranks. Additionally, Pokemon Legends ZA does not penalize players with ranking demotions, which makes the grind less stressful. As time winds down in the inaugural ranked battle season, trainers who missed out will benefit from some planned changes coming in Season 2. The Pokemon Company stated that Delphoxite needed to Mega Evolve Delphox will now require rank S rather than rank K to obtain, as a way to make ranked battles more enjoyable for players. Additionally, the Greninjite Mega Stone reward from Season 1 will return as the rank Y reward in Season 2. Ergo, Pokemon Legends ZA trainers will have all of Season 2 to obtain it if they missed out the first time. Season 2 of Pokemon Legends ZA's ranked battles will run from November 5th to 25th, starting and ending at 10 p.m. Pacific time. Pokemon Legends ZA will also prevent points from decreasing in ranked battles, and will adjust points and rewards accordingly. Along with the changes to ranked battle rewards, they've confirmed that it will launch a November update to address some known issues. During specific side missions, the game could become soft-locked if a Pokemon is hit with the move right as the day-night cycle shifts simultaneously. This could cause a glitch that prevents the target Pokemon from taking damage, making certain missions impossible to complete. And there's another soft lock related to rogue Mega Pokemon, and the game's box management system will also be addressed in Pokemon Legends ZA's planned November update. Before we get into this one, I know you hadn't tried it last week when we talked. Have you tried the ranked battles online yet?
I still haven't.
Okay.
I still haven't.
Well, turns out that's fine. You're not going to miss out on Mega Greninja. What do you think about this story?
I like it. I like that this is something that's being considered, and like there's more thought going into it, and I think that's interesting. And I'm curious to see what kind of support we'll have with this kind of stuff moving forward too.
Definitely. I am surprised but happy to say that it looks like they are listening to actual feedback.
Yeah.
Which is great. I mentioned, it's not too difficult to get to rank K and get that Mega Stone, but it's nice that they're making it easier, and it's nice that it won't be gone forever if you don't manage to play it in these first 2 weeks the game is out.
Yeah.
Like, what a bummer that would be if you got this game for Christmas and you can't ever get those Mega Stones.
Yeah,
because
that would be wild.
Yeah.
It's more accessible for everybody, and I think that's cool.
Yeah, hopefully they're just kind of perpetually available. So we'll see. And maybe by December, when Chestnut gets his Mega Stone, maybe they'll change things even more. We don't know. Yeah, so cool. I definitely want to make it a point to come back for these new seasons and participate.
Yeah.
Story number 5. Capcom gets behind Nintendo Switch 2 with Resident Evil Requiem Switch 2 Pro Controller, the first ever Resident Evil amiibo, and an RE7, 8, and Requiem Generation Pack. This is by Wesley Yinpool at IGN. Capcom is throwing the full force of Resident Evil Requiem at the Nintendo Switch 2 with a number of exclusive announcements for the console. First up is the Resident Evil Requiem themed Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller, which Nintendo will release alongside the game on February 27th, 2026. It's the first Switch 2 game to get its own Pro Controller, and it's up for pre-order at Best Buy, costing $100. Next is the Resident Evil Generation Pack, due out on the Switch 2, which contains Resident Evil Requiem, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Gold Edition, and Resident Evil Village Gold Edition. This article does not include a price, but that is going to be $90, which is cool. We'll talk about that in a second. And finally, the first ever Resident Evil amiibo is on its way in the form of Grace Ashcroft, the game's playable character. It's due out summer 2026. Of course, given the speculation around Leon also being a playable character in Resident Evil Requiem, fans are wondering if a Leon amiibo is also in the works. Resident Evil Requiem arrives for Switch 2, PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S on February 27th, 2026. I feel like we have talked a lot about Resident Evil coming to Switch on this podcast, and it seems like Nintendo and Capcom really want us to talk about Nintendo and Resident Evil in the same breath.
Yeah.
It's cool how much they seem to be focusing their marketing on this Switch 2 version. So I know you kind of plan on playing it elsewhere, but what do you think about these announcements?
The Generation Pack, I will be locking that in. There is no doubt about it. 100%.
It's a great price, isn't it?
That's insanity, to be honest.
Requiem is $70, and then for $90, I can get 7 and 8 with all of their DLC.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
Like, I hate to like throw huge things out there like dream come true, but like, yeah. But like, honestly, this is what I needed to pick it up on the Switch too, because like I am 100%, like I said in the past, going to be picking this up for the PC, but now I want to play Village and Biohazard again. So I'm now going to wait, and I'm going to get it on the Switch 2. And with that purchase, I'll be locking in the new one, which is fantastic because I know that I'm going to want to do that. So this is awesome. And what a cool like little box too,
Yeah. So this is both digital, and there will be a physical edition of this for those that want to collect that, which is pretty neat. When I looked, you can pre-order this Generation Pack. You can't pre-order 7 and 8 individually. I have to imagine, though, that the price for each of those is not going to be $10.
Yeah, no, probably not.
So it sounds like you're getting a deal here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. How about the Pro Controller?
I love that I hate that this is my answer so often, but I love that they're doing it. Don't really care that much. I mean,
I think it looks bad.
What's that?
I'm going to say that. I think it looks bad.
It does look bad. It's a little like newspaper. I'm tired of lazy designs on things, and I've been saying this for a long time because anytime a cool Zelda edition anything comes out, I'm like, you guys, come on. Like, can't we be a little more creative with this? And it's like, where are the colors? Where's some red? Give me some blood on there. Give me something. My God, it's cool that they're doing it. I'm glad that they're making a special Switch 2 controller. So odd that it's Resident Evil, but I'm glad that it exists. Just I'm hoping this is more like a stepping stone in the right direction for them wanting to do things like this. But like you said, I feel like they're really pushing for Switch 2. Like this generation pack and the controller, all of this, it's very non-standard, I feel like.
Yeah, to be the first game getting its own unique Pro Controller is very cool.
Yeah.
I wish that Switch 2 logo was not... Because I don't hate the newspaper aesthetic. I think that's kind of neat. I just don't like that right in the middle of the Resident Evil logo is this separate Switch 2 logo.
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
And you're right. Some red maybe on the grips would look cool. That would really add to it. I was really hoping for a Metroid Prime Pro Controller.
For real. Like that, come on. Like, I want that.
I think we're getting too close at this point. I think if it were there, we would know. But
yeah.
The last bit of news here, of course, is the Resident Evil amiibo, Grace Ashcroft. I can't imagine either of us picking this thing up, but I mean, it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I'll admit right now, I would buy a Leon Kennedy amiibo. Absolutely.
Oh, iconic. It's
That's
iconic.
my guy. Yeah.
Grace, Grace is getting an amiibo.
She might be cool. Yeah. I mean, she might be cool. I have no idea.
I don't even know if I like her yet,
Yeah. But this is cool. And you're right. I kind of feel, having not played Biohazard or Village, really, I think this would be a great way to get into it. And I think that's probably what I'm going to do.
Dude, I can't wait for you to play those.
Yeah. There's no reason for me not to have,
Yeah.
I've got every platform they're on. I could do it at any time, but
oh man, you better buckle up. It's fucking a ride, those games. I like them.
You know what I didn't mention when we were talking about games we've been playing? I started Luigi's Mansion.
You did?
I did, and the game in some ways has aged very well. It still looks great, which I think is impressive.
Ooh.
The inverted controls are really the only thing I'm fighting with.
Okay.
And it does look like I can maybe change that in the settings, so I might mess with that a little bit.
Do they have the widescreen thing in this one? Luigi's
Mansion does not have widescreen support. Some of the GameCube games on there do.
Yeah.
Like Soul Calibur did. But yeah, Luigi's Mansion does not seem to have that. I was under the impression it did, but
I was really hoping it did, but that's okay. I mean, I've been not like I've been saving it for very long. Just came out today, but at the time of recording, but I'm kind of saving that for a nice little cozy thing tomorrow, I think.
Yeah. I've never completed that game. So, and it's not a very long game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, looking forward to getting through that this weekend and maybe being able to talk about that on the show. Story number 6, and this is of course a doozy that they dropped on us today, seemingly on a whim, in the Switch, the Nintendo News app rather. And this is just kind of a guide that wraps it all up in a nice little story for us. So this is everything included in the Animal Crossing New Horizons Nintendo Switch 2 Edition and free 3.0 update. This guide is written by Jim Norman at Nintendo Life. Animal Crossing New Horizons Nintendo Switch 2 Edition and the accompanying version 3.0 update arrive on January 15th, 2026, and there's a lot packed into them. We'll start with the Switch 2 specific info, which is paid. It's a $4.99 upgrade if you already own Animal Crossing, or you can buy it as a full package for $65. So we'll start with those features. Include improved resolution and graphics, perhaps the lowest hanging fruit on a Nintendo Switch 2 edition. The Switch 2 version boasts 4K resolution in TV mode, so you can see your avatar and villagers more clearly. It's still 30 frames per second though. But we'd assume it'll be a little more consistent than the Switch 2 original. You're also going to get mouse controls. Mouse mode integration makes it easier to change furniture layouts, make custom designs, and write messages on the bulletin board. There's the megaphone item that can be found at Nook's Cranny. Use the Switch 2's built-in microphone. It will let you call out to your villagers by name and easily track them down around your island. Expanded online features. The Nintendo Switch 2 edition allows for up to 12 players to play together at once, up from 8 on Switch 1. And you can talk to each other via game chat and the Switch 2 camera. And so that is it for the paid stuff. There's actually not a ton in that package, but like I said, it's a $5 upgrade. Everything else we're going to talk about is part of a free upgrade that anyone playing Animal Crossing New Horizons can get to. So this is update 3.0. First, we've got the Resort Hotel. The Cap'n Family Hotel is open for business. You'll help them bring in new guests by decorating rooms based on various themes, dressing up mannequins, and more. Scanning Animal Crossing amiibo will let you invite specific guests to stay. Decorating rooms will earn you hotel tickets, which can be exchanged for exclusive items in the souvenir shop. You can also build specific pieces of furniture requested by Tom Nook in exchange for tickets, so that there are a couple of ways to rack up the rewards. It kind of feels like a light version of the Happy Home Paradise DLC, but we'll have to wait and see how involved it is. You've also got expanded home storage. The previous 5,000 item limit has been lifted, and you'll be able to beef up your collection to a whopping 9,000 items instead. You can even stick trees, shrubs, and any other kind of greenery in storage, which is new. Series regular Sonny Rossetti was notably absent from New Horizons at launch, but he's back in the 3.0 update. Rossetti offers a reset service, which can be used to clean up specific areas of the island so you don't need to go about picking everything up by yourself. And then we've got the Slumber Island. Taking a deep sleep will transport you to Luna's new dream world, a fresh island that you can decorate as you please with all of your items. You have full control over Slumber Island, where you can add bridges and inclines, set the time of day and weather, or invite any of your island residents. You'll be able to build up to 3 Slumber Islands, small, medium, or large, and you can even visit a friend's setup and assist with building works or decorations. And then finally, we've got collaborations. This part's cool. By increasing your island brand recognition via the hotel, the souvenir shop will start to stock items from various new collaborations. First up, we have the special Nintendo crossover items, which include retro systems, toys, and accessories. Those with an active Nintendo Switch Online membership can even play select classic games on the retro systems, much like the first Animal Crossing. There's also a LEGO collaboration, which features clothing and furniture in the classic brick style. And finally, tapping relevant amiibo will unlock 2 series-specific crossovers for Zelda and Splatoon. These add new special outfits, new villagers, including Tulin, Minoru, Cece, and Viche, and other items themed around the games. That's obviously a lot of content for an update that they just dropped on us on a whim. So, kind of surface level, what do you think about 2020's Animal Crossing New Horizons getting an update like this in 2026?
I feel like I want to be careful because I know a lot of people really love this game, and I love Animal Crossing too. I definitely have my fun with Animal Crossing. The megaphone thing is so goofy and funny to me. I don't really know. I wonder how that's going to really go. Love a res and graphic update. Love that.
30 frames per second. Still weird though. Why is that not 60?
Yeah, didn't get to that just yet, but that's definitely that's bonkers, honestly. But I love to see a 4K on the screen update. Like that's cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The Resort Hotel sounds pretty sweet, honestly. Like that's a cool update. That feels like it's going to give people a reason to kind of go back and revisit that. I feel like that gives you a lot to do. Doing that brings more things to your island. I think that's cool. I think it's a fun way to kind of breathe new life into something that's now like 5 years old. But I don't know. I think it's cool that they're doing it. It's just weird that they're doing it. This is a pretty big update, to be honest. Like,
it's a huge update, and I'm very happy that the majority of it is in the actual free update for everybody.
Yeah,
the features that are in the Switch 2 edition are very much things that just take advantage of the new hardware, like the microphone, the online stuff, and so that's cool. And the fact that it's only $5 it's such a I didn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, there's no way. But this is the cheapest Switch 2 edition we've seen yet. They've priced now anywhere between $5 and $20. The January 15th release date. How upset do you think Nintendo is that they did not get this out in time for Christmas?
I mean,
you want this on shelves, right?
Yeah, like this. I mean, I want to say like maybe this would give them some selling power for the holidays, but at the same time, like I don't really know. I feel like everybody who's going to want this thing for Christmas probably already got it. But we might have a bunch of folks that maybe they were under a rock for the last 7 years or whatever, and they want to switch now, and they want to get into Animal Crossing, and they see that this is happening, so they pick one up. There's always that, but I don't think Christmas honestly is too much of a disappointment. I think if anything, much like when Animal Crossing came out in the first place, it was the first thing in quite a long time. I remember Animal Crossing being like it came out and I was like, oh, finally something.
Sure.
And so maybe this is kind of that thing, like that, that post Christmas sadness that everybody feels, and they're like, all right, well, at least there's Animal Crossing.
Yeah, you're right, and we don't have to wait long, so that's nice.
Yeah.
I really fell off Animal Crossing pretty hard. I played those initial few weeks, months, and then just have not touched it now in literally years.
Yeah.
So I'll at least take a look at this and see what's new. Maybe start a new island. I don't know. I don't have any attachment to my old island anymore.
I don't either. I think I'd start over, but I do remember the night it came out, I literally didn't sleep that night, and I was just grinding for bells, and it hurts me to think about doing that again. I kind of wish, like, if you left your island for so long, like maybe everybody would leave and there was abandoned houses and maybe they were haunted.
Okay. These people have died?
Like, well, no, but they'd leave.
Okay.
They left. Like, we don't know.
Left.
We don't know what happened.
The mortal plane. Yeah, they're gone.
Who knows? Who's to say?
It's a fun thought. Maybe next year's Halloween event they can kill off the villagers. But yeah, so we'll look forward to that big Animal Crossing update in January. Until then, here's some out this week. I've just got 2 games for you, and really one was a joke. So, you highlighted it for me there on November 6th. You've got Dinkum. I just wanted to say Dinkum one more time in the podcast. We did at that direct a while back, and I knew you'd get a kick out of that. So Dinkum is coming out on the Switch 1, November 6th, and then of course on the Switch 2, the same day, you have Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment, which we have not really. I don't know if you intend to get this game at launch. Do you?
No.
Okay, I kind of thought so. I feel like we always we talk about this game and the stuff around it, but we haven't really discussed our plans for this one.
Yeah, I mean, there's a high likeliness that I dropped off Hyrule Warriors since the Wii U, and I know that it's improved quite a bit. I didn't play Age of Calamity, and I probably should have, because I know there's a lot of cool canon stuff, and I won't dig this hole too deep. I know we've talked about it, but just with us talking about this stuff every week, there's a good chance I'll pick it up and play it just so that I can talk about it with you. Like that to me is worth it, I think. Sure. So there's a chance I do that,
Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's a Zelda game, but it's also very much not a Zelda game. Yeah. So, no one can fault you for not being super interested in a completely different genre of game.
Yeah.
That's fine. I do want to pick it up. I'm excited for it, kind of out of nowhere. I wasn't really, and now in the last few weeks, I feel like I can feel it ramping up.
You're desperate.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. So, yeah, I'll be playing that this coming week. Okay, so for our topic this week, Jordan, I have been inundated with these alignment charts on Reddit. I see them for every little thing.
Okay.
And I thought we can do this. There are so many Nintendo platforms. There are so many different games, categories. We can put a thing in a box.
We could put things in boxes. Yes.
So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with something relatively basic. I know we've had lots of ideas, and we will, potentially do those in the future if we enjoy it and if the people out there enjoy it. But for now, I wanted us to just take the first 6 Nintendo home platforms, the NES, the SNES, the Nintendo 64, the GameCube, the Wii, and the Wii U, and then fill in boxes for 5 categories.
Okay.
the game that defines that platform, the most innovative use of that platform, the best game to play at a party, games that are underrated or overlooked, and then, of course, the most hated games of those platforms.
Okay. The game.
So,
the game.
Yeah. The game.
The game. All right.
What does that mean? We'll find out. Okay, let's get to the actual content here. So we're going to start with the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System, released in 1985. And we're going to start with the game. Jordan, what is the game of the NES?
So I chose for the game for the NES. I went Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario Bros. 3.
Okay, and that's a beautiful choice. It really is. I went back and forth. Full transparency here. I really only considered 2 games for this category.
I like that.
And that was Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario Brothers 3.
Ooh, so you went Super Mario Bros.
Okay. Because when you're defining the NES, like I feel like they just go together. But then Super Mario Brothers 3 is just like kind of the epitome of what the NES can do and its popularity and its kind of legacy, right? So like I think ultimately I would go with Mario 3 over the first Mario Brothers, but I'm curious to see what your other contender was.
I put Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
For my other one.
That. I think we're going to see a lot of Zelda today.
We're probably going to see a lot of Zelda today. To be honest with you, I weigh more on Mario Bros. 3, and I did think pretty hard. I was weighing between Super Mario Bros. And the Duck Hunt collection.
Ooh, okay.
Because to me, I mean, that's a big memory. And I feel like a lot of people remember that very well. And I feel like everywhere I went, everyone had it. They had the zapper.
You're right.
Like it was a whole thing. So like, to me, that feels like, when the NES launched, people were like, oh, that's the jam. It's got this cool zapper. You know what I mean? So like, to me, that felt like the game. And then of course, when you're done, shooting the ducks, you go play Mario,
Yeah, no, you're right. Comparing those two, that one cartridge, you're making a really good case. I do like that. I gotta be honest about Zelda though. I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
The original Zelda obviously is a huge accomplishment on the NES, and it's fine. Certainly not my favorite Zelda game, but I don't know.
See, honestly, I haven't said any of this out loud yet. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like, this is the first time I've talked it out. And honestly, as soon as I said it, I was like, I don't really agree. Cause it's like, it was a big family. It was a big deal for my family. But no, I don't think The Legend of Zelda has any kind of for Zelda independent from the NES. Like, was it a big deal for Zelda? Yes, it was. But was it a big deal for the NES? Not really at the time, especially. And people had it, but not like Duck Hunt and the Mario, that cartridge, man, like that was everywhere. I feel like to me, that has to be like the game for the NES.
Yeah. Okay. So Super Mario Brothers / Duck Hunt. I think I'm with you. I was really ready to fight for Super Mario Brothers 3. But yeah, I mean that cartridge in particular, which is almost kind of a cheat, of course. It is certainly not one game. It's not the game, right? It's but it is one cartridge, and it's just iconic.
It is so iconic.
Yeah. So the game Podcasting with Power, we're saying the game of the NES is Super Mario Brothers / Duck Hunt. Next up is most innovative. You are free to interpret this however you want. And I gotta be honest, this was one of the hardest squares for me, and I still don't know that I really feel strongly about it.
Okay.
But why don't you give me what you've got for this one?
Well, I really putting a flag up for your team on this one. I put Metroid.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I put a note on there. I just put non-linear exploration before it was cool.
And that's true. I mean, I I'm obviously a huge Metroid fan. Metroid 1 and 2, are not really what I think of when I think of Metroid.
No.
Kind of in the same way of what we were talking about with Zelda. But you're right in that a lot of those ideas that Super Metroid kind of perfected and now we see everywhere, did come from NES Metroid. So that's a really good pick that I really didn't even consider.
Really? Wow. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's got the cool password saving system. It does a lot of cool things in there. Okay, that's a good contender. I want to throw out Gyromite with Rob. Right? Honestly, like had we maybe not gone the Duck Hunt route with the first category, I could honestly suggest Duck Hunt for this. But I guess light gun games were already kind of a thing in arcades. But Rob was different. That was about, they wanted the NES to be marketed as a toy. And so they threw in Rob and Gyromite in there to, give you a little buddy to play with. I don't know. You haven't really seen much of that since, obviously, but
which is such a bummer, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
No, I have to say, I think you took that one. I think I have to agree. That's awesome. And Rob is iconic, man. Like,
of course.
I can't believe I didn't think about that. That is a good one. Yes. You got to go with Rob 100%.
Yeah. I appreciate the Metroid shout out. I really do. But yeah. Because unfortunately, I do not think Metroid's going to be very prevalent on this.
No, that's probably the last time I'm going to mention Metroid today.
I can maybe think of another time it might come up, but
yeah,
we'll see. So for the most innovative game on the NES, we are going with Gyromite, and that really comes down to the Rob peripheral there. Okay, best at a party. This again, I feel like comes very easy for the other platforms, not so much for the NES. So the way I kind of looked at this one was just, the best multiplayer. Maybe it's, you're either passing the controller around or you're switching on and off. Do you feel very strongly about anything for this one?
No, I don't. I obviously have an answer. I have two answers, and one of them is Duck Hunt.
Okay.
Again.
I do feel like we should try to steer away as much as we can from repeating it.
No, 100%. That's why I was going to tell you that, because I didn't know where I was going to go on that first one. And if I was going to mention it, I was leaving it up to myself to make a last minute choice. So because I want that, my other one I put is also an unconventional answer, but I put ice hockey.
Okay.
I didn't really know where to go because I have another answer, but I had to use it for a different category on here.
Okay. So yeah, that's the thing. For me, obviously the NES, having two players is a big part of that. I just don't think of it that way. Most of my experience with it has come later. And mostly, just kind of exploring these games on my own. But I like ice hockey. I like that.
I mean, to be honest with you, it's a lot of fun. Like I didn't put it on here like, dang it, ice hockey. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's something that you would put on and I think people would want to play it. Like if next week I had a party on a Friday and I had an NES and that's what I put out, I feel like you could put on ice hockey and people would thumb around with it. And the reason that I would fight for it, and this is the thought that I put into it. It's not intimidating in a way where sometimes when you have a party game, people are kind of afraid to play it if it's too skill based because they're like, oh, I don't want to look stupid,
Right.
But if you put on ice hockey, like it's fun to kind of screw around with. It's very much like a Rocket League type thing where you're like, we'll put this thing on, people will play around. And I think people are more likely to engage with that than they maybe would be on like, even Mario, man, because like that can be intimidating. You don't want to look stupid. They're like, it's just jumping. And it's like, you put on ice hockey, you don't have to make a goal. You can skate around. You know what I mean? Like,
of course.
So that's kind of the thought I put into it. But it's just another one of those small games I had fun playing. And I remember I have fond memories playing that game. So
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that. I'm honestly embarrassed even to bring up what I thought of for this.
Good.
You know, but you know, there is still time. We could put Mario 3 here. You know, a great back and forth. You know, because I am surprised that it's not in our top spot here, but like I said, I like what we've got. I like ice hockey. I was thinking Bubble Bobble came to mind.
Okay.
You know, you like some Bubble Bobble every now and then?
It's in the fam. I've never been a big Bubble Bobble guy. Bubble Bobble boy.
Okay. Bubble Bobble boy. Yeah.
Bubble Bobble boy. Never been a big Bubble Bobble boy, but
no.
But I'd you know, I'd fuck with it. But no, I've never been a big Bubble Bobble guy.
Okay, that's fair.
Bigs, Bobs, Beepers. I don't know.
I don't know. I think you won me over with your ice hockey explanation. I feel like that is a good, like, it's one of those things where it's like, even if it's not the game that works for everybody, your reasoning is sound. Like, it is the kind of game you should bust out if you're playing multiplayer with somebody who doesn't necessarily know the game maybe as well as you do. So I'm cool with ice hockey.
All right.
Let's keep ice hockey.
It's a little iconic. Yeah. You know, Bubble Bobble is too, though. So, I mean, I like where your head's at, because a lot of people really do love that game. And I mean, wasn't Bubble Bobble on the Switch too? They brought that to the Switch and most places.
Oh, yeah. I think Bubble Bobble's been on everything. I had it, I think, on the Game Gear is where I played it as a kid.
All right.
Yeah. So it's all over the place. Okay. Next up, we've got underrated / overlooked. Now, the NES has been around for a long time. Mm-hmm. It's hard to find an NES game that is overlooked at this point. You know, you can find opinions on just about any NES game. But what do you have here? What do you think needs a shout out?
I feel like I'm looking at my list here across consoles. I feel like this is going to be the category that if you had to guess my game, that you'd be able to do it. Ooh. And if you could guess what my game was, I'd actually be really impressed, but I know that you know it. I just don't know that you remember it.
Okay.
But I do have a pretty big favorite for the NES, and which is odd for the NES because it's outside of what you would expect. Because obviously, yeah, I love Zelda, but I'm not choosing Zelda for underrated. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So it is.
Yeah.
Was it?
Go ahead.
It is an underrated title, 100%. It's definitely a game that I would say I don't think a lot of people even remember or know, but I've mentioned this to you in the past. I also have a shirt of this game.
Oh, I don't know. The one I am thinking of, I'm not aware of a shirt if you have one. And honestly, I'm kind of blanking on if it is an NES game or not. But the one that's coming to mind is Gradius.
Oh, it's not that.
Which is that on the NES?
I feel like
only one on the Super Nintendo, but I just don't know if it's only there. I don't know.
No, I'll just give it to you because this is a stretch. Yeah. It's a big one. Okay. Heavy Barrel.
Heavy Barrel. Okay. Yes. I'm gonna need a refresher on this one.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about Heavy Barrel.
We've played Heavy Barrel. I know you know it.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, this is clearly Rambo on the cover. Yeah, okay. Data East. So Heavy Barrel. Mm-hmm. And I think this is a category that we probably should have answers for each of us, right? Because this is a much more personal question, I think. Mm-hmm. So, okay, let me write down Heavy Barrel. So tell us why. Why should people play Heavy Barrel? So
here's the thing. It nails all the different pieces of what makes a great game, especially back then. So for the NES, I don't know if you're still looking at screenshots or not, but like, what a good looking game for the NES. Because
yeah, it's impressive.
You compare this to something, you know, honestly, most other games out there, especially this type of game. You're essentially, to describe it to the audio listeners, if you're not Googling, you're essentially like these two rogue army men and you're just taking down these camps. And so it's like a top down 2D kind of situation. You're walking around, blowing up helicopters, taking down enemies, taking keys, going into chests, getting different ammo and different guns. And there's these boss battles where you're fighting different like heavy armored machinery, and then you'll actually transition into different. You'll go from this top down view to a 2D side scroller view in some of the different areas, and you'll do like flips, and you know the way you transition to different areas. It's just very thought out. It's very fun. The music is really good. And it's just a blast. And I mean, 2-player, like I remember playing this with my sisters and just having a really good time doing it. So it's a really diverse NES game, and I just feel like it doesn't get enough attention. I feel like you got to play it. It's just a really good time.
All right. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. For my pick, underrated / overlooked. I know a couple weeks ago I mentioned Star Tropics, which is a game I would like to spend more time with. I think I would really, really enjoy Star Tropics if I spent some real time with it. Obviously not going to be my pick here because I haven't done that.
Okay.
It's funny. I feel like when we were growing up and reading Nintendo Power and maybe on forums and things like that, we heard about this game a lot, but now in the present day, we don't. And you mentioned Metroid, and I'm kind of thinking of Metroid's sister game, which is Kid Icarus.
Oh.
Which is it's the platforming of Mario, it's the items of Zelda, and it's just fucking hard. And I think in the modern age, I think it's kind of overlooked when we talk about the best NES games. And I think it deserves to be there.
Yeah. Okay.
That game is hard as nails, but
I know.
It's worth checking out.
I feel like I could spend more time playing it. I've always wanted to, and I never have. We'll see if I ever do, but I should.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth it. It's a good one. It holds up, I think, as well as any other challenging NES game. Your Contras, your Ghouls and Ghosts, any of that kind of stuff. You'll get frustrated, but it's satisfying when you reach the end there.
I like a satisfying frustration. Yes.
Exactly. So we've got Heavy Barrel and Kid Icarus as the underrated / overlooked games on the NES. And then finally, we have the hated category. What is a hated game on the NES, Jordan?
I think you take this. Or no, okay, I'll go first again, and then you'll take the lead on the Super Nintendo. Does that sound good?
Sure, that sounds great. Yeah.
All right. All right. Another bit of a reach.
I'm curious if you're going to go here. I don't know. I think I know where you're going, but I'm curious.
Oh man. Okay. I'd be really interested if you did. This is a weird one. This was like one of those bottom of the barrel games I just remember being around as a kid.
Oh, okay.
And
Maybe not then. Okay.
I was kind of delighted as I got older that it held up, that it sucked.
Okay. Okay.
I went Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Ooh, okay. Yes. So I have heard of this. I have never played this one.
Oh my God.
No.
You really, for the comedic value and for what I'm about to tell you, you need to play this game.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard about how awful this game is, but okay.
So I want to read off some of my notes here so I don't trail off. It's extremely confusing. Okay. So you're playing as Dr. Jekyll. And understand that I'm trying to explain this to you on what I think I understand. Okay.
Okay.
So you play as Dr. Jekyll. You're walking to his wedding. There's enemies. I don't know why. I have no idea why. Okay. There's children. There's like animals and people. And I don't know why they're like fighting you or trying to hurt you. Okay. Yeah. And I don't remember. I should have Googled this to have a better idea, but like you have this meter and I don't remember what the meter means, but when it would fill up, everything was mirrored and you'd walk backwards and it was really confusing. And like I didn't,
yeah.
And I didn't understand. Like, I was like, what is happening with this? And like the communication of it would be like, I did Google this, but it's like, it would say like reach the church. And there's no score system. Like, you don't know if what you're doing is the right thing to do. Like, it's just so incredibly confusing and you have no idea why things are happening to you. And it doesn't make any sense. It is hilarious, man. Like, I don't know if I'm underselling it here, but like, if you have never played this, you need to boot it up and just give it a shot because it is hilarious.
where can I even find this today? I mean, surely it's not available anywhere.
I mean, I have the cartridge. Do you have you have an NES?
I do.
I have the cartridge if you'd like.
Okay, I don't, but I mean, I guess I should try it. That's a solid pick.
I should have got it out. I have it down on my drawer down there, I think. But yeah.
So, and I don't think that's necessarily a deep cut. It does seem like a lot of people have bad memories of playing that game.
I've heard, that's what I was kind of saying when I was happy that as I got older, like a lot of people would shit on it online. I was like, you fucking bet, man. That game was confusing. And like, if anybody listening has played this game and I explain anything wrong, like I don't know what's going on in that game. Like I really don't understand. But God, anyway, ranting now.
Anyway. So I think I went a little more mainstream than that. And I picked a very well-known, I believe, NES game. And I went with Ice Climber.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I hate Ice Climber.
Really?
I think it offers nothing of value.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think the best thing about it is the fighter that we have in Super Smash Brothers.
Okay.
I think they're a fun way to play that game. But in their original game, no, it's garbage. I don't get it. The platforming sucks. Breaking through the ceiling sucks. The monsters suck. Yeah, I don't even feel like I have a ton to say about it. I just don't like it.
I mean, that's fair. It is like, I don't know. And I'm always afraid to say like really controversial things, or maybe that I think might be, but like, I understand that Ice Climbers is a kind of a classic, but I also don't really understand. And I think it's easy for NES games or even Super Nintendo in some cases to fall into that bucket where you're like, what exactly are we doing here? Like we were still in that era of game where they were like making games out of very simple ideas, obviously because resources weren't so fast. But it's like you had so many other competitors having interesting ideas, and then there's people making games that just because they could, you know what I mean? And Ice Climbers just kind of felt like this unimaginative thing to me as well. So I mean, I kind of agree.
Yeah, you're right. And then a lot of, especially the early ones, are very obtuse. But yeah, I don't think Ice Climber has an excuse. I don't think it is redeeming in any way.
Yeah,
because there are plenty that I don't think are perfect, but I can have fun with, like Wrecking Crew and that kind of stuff. And Ice Climber just is not on that list for me. So is this another one you think where we should have two answers, or?
I mean, I'm going to tell you what, I fucking hate Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but Ice Climber, I feel like that's a more recognizable title. We could be a united front on that.
Okay.
I also hate it.
So for the NES column, the game on the NES, Super Mario Brothers / Duck Hunt, the combined cartridge. The most innovative game on the NES, we're saying, is Gyromite with Rob. Best at a Party, which play ice hockey. Underrated and overlooked, we've got Heavy Barrel or Kid Icarus. And then hated, we have Ice Climber with a strong fuck you to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yes, well, there we go.
Okay, let's go down the Super Nintendo, the SNES column. So the game on the SNES, and I'm gonna lead this column for us. I would love to say that Super Metroid is the game of the SNES, but it's not. We both know that. It's not popular enough to be that, as good as it is, as influential as it is today. I want to throw what I think is going to be the winner out here, and that is The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Okay.
I believe is the game on the SNES.
That's a solid choice. There
are some other great choices, but yeah, I think that's, for me, that is the one.
So I have two, and that's one of them.
Okay.
Cool. So this sets me up perfectly. I put, and again, I don't love this, okay, because of the first game on NES, but I put Super Mario World.
Okay.
And the reason is because most people had it because it was a launch title.
That's true. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Most people had it in their house. They didn't have to go out and buy it. Came in their box, which is what happened with me. I actually just had to look at the box up on the shelf to make sure that was what happened to me, but it totally was. And everyone had a very well established love for Mario, so Nintendo knew what they were doing. They had a loaded gun. They were like, "Here we go! Like this game is gonna fuck hard."
Okay, yeah,
and it did, and yeah, it took them to the moon. But the thing is that when it comes to adventure games, because we know that Nintendo loves adventure games and they do them so well, I want to go A Link to the Past because that's when the doors opened for Zelda, like bursted open. Like we had a story, we had a purpose, like on console, I should say on console.
Yeah.
And selfishly, I want it to be A Link to the Past. What do you think?
So my argument for I love Super Mario World. It's one of the best video games, definitely one of the best Mario games. But even though I do, depending on the day, think it's better than Mario Brothers 3, it's also not that different. You know what I mean? Like it's excellent. It does its own thing, and I love that. But Mario World feels more derivative of Mario 3 than Link to the Past feels of The Legend of Zelda. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? Like you said, like Link to the Past bursts that door open. It's like this is what a console adventure game is. With the scope and the dungeons and all the effects, and I think that just has a stronger legacy,
I'm pretty sold on it. I think we can go A Link to the Past. I love that being the game. It's always been the game for me. So yeah, let's go A Link to the Past. I think you're right. I mean, the Super Nintendo, it was a huge deal. We're selling an adventure. Here's this crazy big RPG that you're going to love, open world. Like, yes, I would say so.
Okay, so the game on the SNES, we're calling for A Link to the Past. Love it. Most innovative. So, when you're on these early platforms, almost every game is innovative in a way, right? Because they were all inventing something, a genre, a mechanic, or something like that. But I tried to kind of think outside the box, and I think in terms of the Super Nintendo, the one game that I think sticks out that is unlike any other is Star Fox. It's the visual style, the Super FX chip, and that early 3D. But yeah, I think for me the most innovative is Star Fox. Where you at with that one?
So I also put Star Fox.
Yeah, it's so different, and obviously it's where games were headed, and
well, my note, we
saw that a couple years later.
My note says Star Fox Super FX chip. So I would have to agree. Yeah. My second choice was it Super Scope 6 that used the Super Scope?
Okay, yeah.
That I admittedly thought of because you mentioned Rob and I didn't even think of Rob.
Sure.
So when we were going through the NES, I made an extra note here. And yeah, Super Scope 6, Yoshi's Safari, Battle Clash, Metal Combat, the games that use the Super Scope. But the thing is that Star Fox just packed more of a punch when it comes to gameplay. Like the Super Scope was cool, but it's not like the NES where there weren't a ton of huge options. Like Rob was so cool in comparison even to the other games available. Where the Super Scope was also very cool, but it didn't really stack up to other games. So I would have to say that what they did with Star Fox was more innovative, even without like a physical, cool, tangible item.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, there are other uses of the Super FX chip too, like Yoshi's Island.
Yeah,
and I love the art style in that game.
Mm-hmm.
But like Star Fox was truly doing something with 3D that just other console games were not
using the space. So. It was great using the space, and they were in space.
yeah. Funny how that works out. Okay, I'm curious if we line up on this one too. Best at a party. I think you got to give it to Super Mario Kart.
God damn it! I put the same thing.
Not my favorite Mario Kart. Probably one of my least favorite Mario Karts. But I mean, yeah. Come on, right? Like that is the multiplayer game.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
And maybe I would throw it to Street Fighter 2 as well, but you know, I definitely like that as well. But yeah, I think Mario Kart maybe is the one.
Mario Kart takes it for me. Yep, that's what I have listed as well. So
okay. Easy peasy. Underrated / overlooked. So I don't know. I know I've talked about this game. I think probably to you, but I don't think I've brought it up too much on the podcast. But there is a Super Nintendo game that I love. It always pops up, you know, on the virtual console and these, you know, SNES classics and Switch Online and all that. But it doesn't. No one seems to care, and that game is Kirby's Dream Course.
Oh,
yeah, it's a golf game, like a mini golf game, but Kirby is the ball, and you're picking up little power ups on the way that modify, you know, what you can do, and there's enemies on each course, and it's pretty fun, and it's deeper than you would think it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun game to play with people as well. But yeah, I think that is mine. Kirby's Dream Course is a game I think people should check out that I know people just aren't.
I think you have talked to me about this game before because I feel like I played. This was on the SNES Classic.
I believe so. I think when we played it, it was probably on my Wii U.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's you know, it's on Switch Online. It's easy to play now.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
This one I feel like you're definitely going to be able to guess.
Ooh. I don't know.
Mystical Ninja.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got to go Mystical Ninja. It wasn't included in anything except was it the Wii U? The Wii U brought it to Virtual Console.
I was going to say, I think it was on one Virtual Console, but
and
not
that's
both.
it. And I'm sitting here. I thought, you know, I'm like, here we go. We included Mystical Ninja. Nice. We've never done this. Okay. And then we've now forgotten about it again. And it wasn't on the SNES Classic either, which was a huge bummer because what a cool game. I've talked about it a lot before. I know I've mentioned it on the podcast in the past, but big fan favorite and definitely overlooked. So that's my answer.
You gotta hope that as Konami is trying to kind of re-enter the traditional game space, you know, they're putting out Silent Hill remakes and new games and Metal Gear. I hope that they maybe start to pay attention to some of the smaller series like Mystical Ninja. That'd be cool. So for underrated overlooked, we've got Kirby's Dream Course and Mystical Ninja for the SNES. And then, a hated game for the Super Nintendo. I pretend, you're probably going to be surprised when I say this, because I pretend like I like this game. But of course I don't. And that game is Shaq Fu. So, Shaq Fu is a game starring, of course, Shaquille O'Neal. Early 90s, I think, mid 90s. And it's not very good. It's just clunky. The combat's no fun. I think the reason I would joke so much about Shaq Fu is because what was the game they put out with it was like NBA Street, but it wasn't. It was like NBA Playgrounds. And if as like a pre-order bonus or something, they included Shaq Fu, A Legend Reborn, which had like a little, like almost like a hand-drawn art style and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, you know what, this time they're going to get it right. And so I got to get behind this. I'm getting the game for free. And of course that really wasn't great either. Didn't like the world on fire. But so I think a hated game for the SNES is Shaq Fu.
You know, you really oversold your love for Shaq Fu back in the day.
Yeah.
We pressed you on Shaq Fu often, and you were like, no, man, I love that game. Great game.
It's real.
And I put Shaq Fu as my answer, thinking that I'd get some kind of crazy reaction out of you.
No, I will fully admit Shaq Fu is not a good video game. And deserves all of the criticism.
Wild, because I want to go back into the archives of Podcasting with Power from like 2013, and I want to find you praising Shaq Fu. You were singing Shaq Fu's praises, and now Now we've grown up and matured.
I'm going to tell you flat out, nothing has changed. I definitely felt that way then, but yeah. God. So, okay. Well, that's another easy one. The SNES one went pretty easy, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
From top to bottom, we've got The Game, A Link to the Past. Most innovative, Star Fox. Best at a Party goes to Super Mario Kart. Our underrated and overlooked picks are Kirby's Dream Course and Mystical Ninja. And our most hated game on the SNES is, of course, Shaq Fu. How could it be anything else?
Right.
We're going to move over to the Nintendo 64, 1996 in the United States. And we're gonna give you this column again.
All right. Okay?
So, what is the game of the N64?
The game. So
the game.
This one's hard because, and again, I'm just gonna say this out there again, but I feel bored by my answers of this one, of this choice. But it's got to be between the two, and I think you know exactly where I'm going.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we might as well get this out of the way. I'm having all these thoughts kind of going in my head because I want it to be. Well, I don't want it to be, but I know it's going to be either Super Mario 64 or Ocarina of Time. Okay.
Absolutely.
But here's my thing. So you help me figure this out. We both agree, right? That's what you were just saying.
Yep. Yeah. Those are the two.
All right.
Yeah.
So which one is it? And here's the battle. This is what I'm kind of going back and forth with in my head. So Mario 64 is obviously huge. Everybody played it. Okay. Everybody still loves it, including us. I know we both do. We've talked about it a lot. And then there's Ocarina of Time, by which the N64 controller was designed around.
Yep.
So do we go with Mario 64 because of all the love for Mario? It's Mario's first 3D adventure. Everyone loved it. Or do we go Ocarina of Time because, I mean, let's be honest, what a history, what a monumental release, what a game. And the N64 controller was based around it.
I mean, I'm going to level with you. I agree that these are the top two picks for this. But I think there's quite a distance between them.
Okay.
Personally. And I think it's got to be Ocarina of Time.
Oh.
Definitely still today regarded as one of the best games of all time. Very much holds up, even I would say more so than A Link to the Past, which I just praised in the last column here. I mean, it's excellent. The fact that we aren't getting indie games that are copying this structure today drives me crazy because we should be. Mm-hmm. People our age should be making games like that. Maybe we have to. I don't know. But yeah, don't get me wrong. I love Mario 64. We've talked so much about Mario 64 in this podcast. But I think that the game that makes the most out of the Nintendo 64, and you brought up the controller, but even just again the scope, the visuals, the music, everything, it's Ocarina of Time.
So, man, here we are arguing about these two games, which is wild, right?
Yeah, always. We always will.
I know. Well, here's the thing. I'm on your team, Team Zelda. Okay, like yes,
yeah.
Ocarina of Time takes it for me. But who did everyone have Ocarina of Time in their house? Was it the game because we loved it? Because if you went into a gymnasium, I don't know why I'm choosing gymnasium. You go into a gymnasium, okay, and you yell at everybody, and it's I don't know what year I want to pick, but let's say it's the early 2000s, and you're like, what game does everybody love to play on their N64? What game do you think everybody's going to tell you? Is it going to be Ocarina of Time, or do you think it's going to be Mario 64?
I mean, you're right. Probably statistically, it probably is Mario 64. But I just wanted to check something real quick while you were saying that.
Okay.
Super Mario 64 is, of course, the best-selling Nintendo 64 game. Ocarina of Time is the fourth best-selling.
Wow.
It's not nearly as far down, I think, as you might think it is. And it's up there with some strong competition. So I think plenty of people have played Ocarina of Time.
Oh yeah. I'm looking at the list. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, not bad company up there.
So what does that mean? What does that mean for us right now?
I don't think the argument that, not enough people would have played Ocarina of Time to make it be the game, I don't think holds water. I think
you don't think
in that time that was a very high selling game.
You don't think 4 million extra in sales has anything to do with it?
I mean, it's Mario, and as you brought up with the last console, it was a launch title. Like,
that's true.
For months, you had 2 games you could buy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was one of them, and the other was Pilot Wings. So yeah, people were buying Mario, and again, there's nothing wrong with Mario 64, but I don't know, man. I have trouble not giving it to Zelda here.
All right, I'll yield because I have no problem with Zelda being the game, especially with the 64 controller, like we said. But I think it's tighter. I think it's tighter than we're saying. I really do. I think it's very close, and I think it might just be the interpretation of what like the game, like when you mentioned the game to a group. That's kind of how I interpret it. But Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is such a good game, and I can give it to that pretty happily. So we can go that way.
Okay, all right. We'll go with Ocarina of Time, but we can give Mario 64 its flowers. It of course could be there as well. How about the most innovative game on the N64?
I have a feeling we put the same thing because I think we both know. I put GoldenEye.
Ooh.
Huh. By that response, we didn't put the same thing, which I'm more interested in now.
Yeah, we didn't. It's another one that we've talked about quite a bit on here, and that's Pokemon Snap. I think just does something very different. It's a much more, in a way, passive game compared to a lot of console games of the time. And it's a late N64 game, so it looks pretty, and it's got a lot of cool things going for it. But I'm interested in GoldenEye because I want to talk about GoldenEye, just not yet.
I have a feeling I know when.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let me hear about GoldenEye.
I would have to say GoldenEye just because I feel like it really kicked off that first-person shooter kind of that bang we had with first-person shooters. Sure. I think it started something, or it brought something to the N64, created something, whatever you want to say, that didn't exist yet. So it made good use of the controller. Hindsight, I hate the way it controls. I hate it so bad, but like I understand why it is the way it is. If you just kind of imagine like nothing else existed.
Yeah, they did the best with what they had.
Yeah, so like it makes
coming off of Doom and Wolfenstein, that was the best option.
Yeah, we didn't have dual analog sticks. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I understand what we were doing. So I have to give it the GoldenEye. I think it was something that didn't exist, and they made way for it on the N64. So that would have to be my choice.
Okay, my counter argument to that is not even so much that Pokemon Snap is more innovative. It's just that GoldenEye deserves to be in our next box.
Ooh, we're gonna fight on that one too.
I think we need to do some dual boxing right now.
Okay,
I think
let's do a dual box.
So Best at a Party is our next N64 box, and I believe GoldenEye belongs there.
Yeah. Okay. I put Mario Party 2.
And I mean that's a great pick. Mario Kart 64 would be a great pick.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think there is something to specifically the multiplayer of GoldenEye that was, I guess, kind of magic.
See, so because I agree, GoldenEye, my memories of GoldenEye are very few. I'm gonna say that right away because I tried to stay away from it. I didn't care for it at all, but wasn't my jam,
Sure. Okay.
But when I encountered it, it was typically in Hangouts. People had it going. But Mario Party 2, I feel like the crowd I ran with, it was typically a Mario Party game that was on at the parties. The GoldenEye situation was like a band camp situation. I like walked by dorm rooms and people would be in there playing GoldenEye with their roommates.
Sure.
And to me, I feel like Mario Party is just a more diverse, what would you say, like pie? Like you get a little bit of everything in there, all those different mini games. It's a little bit exciting. It's a little bit competitive. There's just a little more flavor, I think. And it's not limited by the amount of people playing it because I don't feel like CPUs and stuff, like playing in Mario Party CPUs, if anything, are going to make the game a little more challenging because they're fucking shisty. So I feel like no matter the size of your party, Mario Party is great. It's also got party in the name, so it feels very much like a party game.
Of course. I mean, talking it out, I do think I agree with you. I think it's a much better equalizer. GoldenEye is fun if you have 4 people who played GoldenEye in the 90s and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it is not. The most recent time I played it, 3 of us were very well versed in it, and the other person was not, and that kind of brought it down for everybody, I think.
Yeah, you got to know what you're doing. Like if you play GoldenEye with me, it's going to be a bad time. I'm not good at it unless I remapped it.
That's not anybody's fault. That's just, it's an old game and it feels old.
But
so, okay, I can concede Mario Party, and you want it to be 2.
2, yeah. 2 specifically.
Okay.
Just love the theme of 2, love the games in 2. I think that's really when they got their swing going. Mario Party was great, but Mario Party 2 is when they were like, we got this locked in.
Sure. Okay. And then going back to most innovative then. So we have our 2 titans here, Pokemon Snap and GoldenEye. I'm with you. I hear GoldenEye. It was it definitely moved first-person shooters forward. Like I said, coming from games like Doom. But it does very much, to me, feel like a stepping stone to then the next big jump, which was Halo. Because that really did figure out how to control a shooter on a console.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta be honest, I feel like even... Well, I can't compare GoldenEye to Perfect Dark here because it's about innovation, not quality.
Yeah. Because to me, it's like, I mean, what was the first? Was that the first-person shooter?
No, stuff like Doom predates it.
Doom, yeah.
A couple years, but and probably even older than that, other stuff. But yeah, you're right. There's something to the level structure, the use of a license, the fact that it did have a story and multiplayer modes. Like there's a lot there. It definitely took advantage of the 4 controller ports of the N64. I can give it to you. I think I can give you a GoldenEye here.
Okay. I mean, I think for what it brought to the N64, I think was different because Pokemon Snap, I get it. Like, and we've talked about Pokemon Snap really recently. I think it was maybe last week or the week prior, but
yeah. Yep.
I mean, this was obviously in the heyday for Pokemon. So bringing a Pokemon game that you could interact with them outside of the battle system and that kind of thing was obviously a big deal, like we've mentioned. But to me, Pokemon Snap, while I hold it in a very high regard, I feel like it was like, what did I say about Zelda on the NES? It was big for Zelda, but not for the NES.
Yeah, I
feel like that way about Pokemon Snap. I feel like Pokemon Snap was big for Pokemon, but I don't feel like it was huge for the N64. I feel like GoldenEye did something for the 64 that it just didn't exist already, or it was a whole different kind of gameplay,
Okay. Yeah, no, I hear that, and Pokemon Snap was definitely not one of the ones on this chart I wanted to fight the strongest for, so that's okay. Okay, most innovative, we're going with GoldenEye 007, and best at a party, we're going for Mario Party 2. Underrated / overlooked. This was another one that I think was tough. One of the problems with the N64 is that it didn't have very many games compared to maybe some other platforms. So I don't know how many of them are overlooked.
Well,
because there just weren't that many options. But
I've got.
I wonder if I know what you're going to go with here. But
yeah. Ooh, I want to know too. I'll go first, and then you can tell me. I don't think you'll guess this one, which is why I'm not going to make you do it.
Okay.
I put Sarge's Heroes.
Oh, I was not going to guess that. But That is a fun game. I remember playing that in your garage, of course.
I had
with some of the guys.
Such a good time playing that game, man. It was very, this is a weird comparison to make, but it felt very really like early Unreal Tournament to me.
Okay.
Because of all the large battle arenas that you could be in. Like you're a tiny person in this big place. And it was such a blast to play with 4 people. That was actually where I was introduced to it. That was a sleepover game. I never owned this game.
Okay.
I just very much enjoyed playing it. When the guys would get together, we'd throw it in, really young over sleepovers and play that all night. We had a really good time. So I have to go with Sarge's Heroes. What were you going to guess?
I was going to guess Mischief Makers.
I had that on there too.
Which, still a game I need to check out at some point.
Yeah.
That is on Switch Online, is it not? I feel like it came relatively recently.
Oh my God. I hope so. Is it? If it is, I'd be stoked. I don't think it is though.
I need to look for that one because that is one I hear about all the time.
Oh, do you really?
Maybe I'm thinking of Iggy's Wrecking Balls. That might be the one I'm thinking
Iggy's I wouldn't fight for.
That is on there.
That's one that I have fond memories of, but honestly, if you try to play it today, it just doesn't really hold up.
So the one I wanted to go with here probably is going to be a little controversial. But that is Jet Force Gemini.
Ooh, that's a good choice.
Yeah. I mean, it's another one like GoldenEye that it is tough to play if you didn't play it back then.
Yeah.
And even when you did play it back then, it's still tough. It does, thankfully, it's in rare replay on the Xbox. It has twin stick controls there. It makes it a lot more manageable. I would love if they brought that to the Switch in some way. With the, control remapping, you can kind of make that work on Switch Online. But this is a later N64 game from Rare. Set in space. You control 3 different characters who all have different abilities and control differently. A lot of cool weapons, lots of big levels to explore. It's cool, and it felt at the time huge compared to other N64 games. Just has very atmospheric music and does have a multiplayer suite, kind of like GoldenEye, and my brother and I had a lot of fun doing that when we were younger. So that's gonna be my pick, Jet Force Gemini.
Nice, that's a solid one.
Okay, and then how about Hated?
I feel like there's a strong chance we put the same game, but
yeah, I mean, if we're going for public opinion, I think there is one.
There is one, but the one that's public opinion, Superman 64. Okay,
of course. Yeah.
I rented this from Blockbuster.
Okay.
I remember very vividly. I was home with the flu, and it was picked up for me, and I was pumped about it. It was a request. I asked.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
And it was such a bomb. I think this is historically the only game I've ever returned prior to the due date of a Blockbuster.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and I remember trying to like it. Like, I remember refusing to throw the towel in on it. Like, I remember flying through the rings, and my sister, it was Jamie specifically, I'd bring her up a lot on the podcast, but I remember her being like, this game sucks. And I was like, no, I'm like, no, man, like you get to fly around. Like it's cool. Like there weren't a lot of games you could fly. And I liked that. So I wanted to like it. And I didn't really understand what to do. The city was bleak. Like there was nothing going on.
Bleak is a good word. Yeah.
And I was just so bummed out. So yeah, I hated it. I don't know, man. Sour taste. So I have to go with Superman 64 and go with the public opinion on that one.
Yeah, this is one admittedly I haven't spent a ton of time with, but the time I did spend with it was bad. And I think you really summed it up. I think it's hard because a Superman game done well could be really cool.
Yeah, could have been.
If some AAA studio were to do that today, I think I could be really interested in that. We just had a great Superman movie come out this summer. I could be down for that, but it does not work here on the N64, and it is probably, even though like you said I haven't played a ton of it, probably the worst N64 experience I've had. So I'm content with that.
Okay.
So our N64 list looks like this. The game is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. The most innovative, GoldenEye 007. Best at a Party, Mario Party 2. And then underrated, overlooked, Sarge's Heroes and Jet Force Gemini. And then the hated N64 game is Superman 64. Cool. All right, you ready to move on to the GameCube?
Oh yeah, a big one.
All right, I'll take a lead on this one. So the game, and this is going to be a tough one because I know the impulse is to put this somewhere else. I know that, but the game is Super Smash Bros. Melee. That's the game. It's got to be, right?
I agree. Yep, that's what I have. Yep.
Really, that's it. There's no argument.
No, there's no argument. I actually thought we were going to argue this too. So I'm delighted that you went first because now we have this tension. Now we're like the game.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's some great. I mean, it's on my list of GameCube games. It's it's on there, but it's not. Certainly not in the top 3. Maybe even lower than that.
Yeah, it's lower than that for me for certain.
But I can't put Metroid Prime or Wind Waker or Resident Evil 4 here. Like it's Smash Bros. Melee.
Yeah. Yep.
So okay, that was easy. I was a little concerned about that. Most innovative. Okay, I'm just gonna throw this game out here because I want to talk about Odama. I always want to talk about Odama, which for those not in the know, is a real-time strategy pinball game. You control you with you have a microphone, on the GameCube controller, and you talk and you control your little armies, all the while you're playing pinball with this giant Odama ball, right? I think that's just the coolest idea I've ever heard. It's a fun game. Doesn't always work the way you want it to. But that is not going to be my pick for most innovative. I had to shout it out here.
Okay.
This is one that I do want to give to a game that I really love, and that is probably Wind Waker.
Oh.
And really the innovation here comes from the presentation, the artwork, the art direction, more than anything, But I think that, that's a tough one because once you get to the GameCube era, we're kind of getting into games that feel modern still, in a lot of ways, and yeah, so I kind of went a different way with that. But I think definitely from a visual standpoint, it started kind of the whole cell shade trend, which you still see every now and then, and I do like. But yeah, I think Wind Waker would be my pick here.
You know what's funny about this is that you're giving the answers that I like, and I feel like I'm about to give an answer that you like.
See, I do have one in my head that I feel like could be the one here, but like I don't know. Let's hear it.
I put Metroid Prime.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel like I don't really need to, it doesn't warrant too much of an explanation, but I feel like the reason I put Metroid Prime is because the GameCube specifically made way for this type of thing to be possible for Metroid.
Yeah.
And it was big for Metroid. Like, I want to make this clear. I know my other points were like, was it big for the series or was it big for the console? And
yeah,
I would say that the Metroid hype kind of, I don't want to say like went underground a little bit for the N64, but it obviously did.
It skipped the N64, which was a bummer.
Right. So I feel like the GameCube kind of gave it a platform to rise up again. So obviously it was big for Metroid, but I feel like it was bigger for GameCube because Metroid fans were like, here we go, we're back. And what do we got? A whole different style of game,
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about how there just aren't very many 3D Metroidvanias. Metroid Prime being, probably the best example of that. And I think there is something, it's easy for people who haven't played that game or just aren't fans of that game to kind of lump it in with first person shooters of the time, your Halos, Killzones, things like that. But it isn't that. Like, you are shooting things in first person, but it's way more of a action adventure platformer. Like, that is the focus of that game.
Yeah.
Like, and you're right. There aren't too many other games doing what that game does even now. yeah, it's hard to bet against Metroid Prime as much as I love both these games.
I know.
I do want to shout out to one we haven't mentioned, which is Pikmin. Really aren't any games like Pikmin. Either one, you know.
Pikmin's on. I have 2 games listed. It's Metroid Prime and Pikmin. And in Pikmin, as you know, I'm not a huge Pikmin guy. Like I've never really gotten deep into Pikmin, but like it's been around for a long time. I obviously know what's going on with Pikmin. And it was extremely different. So like, but I kind of went back and forth because Pikmin as a franchise, like obviously we're still growing. We've seen plenty of releases since the GameCube. But I had to go with Metroid because of how big and how far back that game goes. But the idea of Pikmin was much different. It was much different. But yeah, I don't know. I had to go with Metroid. And I love the idea of Wind Waker, like you said, but the only reason I didn't, because I agree with what you're saying about the art style. I feel like we had a lot, obviously the doors open for that as well across all facets. So it's not just, Metroid Prime wasn't the only game given all these opportunities. Zelda was too. And obviously we had Twilight Princess as well. But because of the Zelda formula, like that's been established, I don't feel like it's not a big deal. Those games are a huge deal because we were given depth finally. Like so much depth after Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, but it was still very formulaic. It followed the same thing. We just got that visual. But with Metroid Prime, we were reintroduced to a huge franchise that was around since the beginning and a crazy new way to play the game, enjoy the series.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to fight off Metroid Prime.
Yeah, right.
I don't. And I don't think you want to fight off Wind Waker.
No.
We could just meet in the middle and put Pikmin. But yeah. You're right. It's hard to.
Honestly, if you just tell me what you want to do, I'm not going to either one. I'm good.
I mean, you put up a game that brought a genre into 3D for the first time and really hasn't been topped since. I think you've got a couple of examples of other good ones, but yeah, let's put Metroid Prime. Let's do it.
Cool.
Why not? Got to go somewhere, right? Okay, best at a party. Now, of course, we eliminated Super Smash Brothers.
We did.
Melee. So I think probably the next best pick for this is Double Dash.
I agree, but I want to tell you what my other one was.
Yeah, let's hear them.
So just to be clear, I'm not going to fight for this one because Double Dash I think is the clear winner, and the reason is because my second choice was Gauntlet Dark Legacy.
Ooh, okay, yeah,
but
love that game.
We both love that game, so we've both had a blast playing that together. Specifically, actually, quite a bit, and
oh yeah.
I obviously the party atmosphere. You're not breaking out Gauntlet Dark Legacy like. It's like that's such a commitment, and it's not exactly upbeat, but it does offer that 4-player gameplay. It is very fun, and I think it would be a successful party game if you have the right group. But Mario Kart Double Dash, it's no contest. Like that's such an approachable game, super fun, upbeat, keeps a vibe going. Like it's got to be Double Dash.
Yeah, I think it's just a natural fit. Having, like I said, eliminating Smash Bros. I mean, that's the one. Still a lot of people's favorite Mario Kart today. Has never really been mine, but I get it. It is a great game. Not much to say on that one, to be honest. Going down to underrated and overlooked. There's another one. I mean, I'm gonna play this card here, and that's Star Fox Adventures. Okay, not a perfect game. One of my favorites, personally. But, I mean, it's a great Zelda-like. Like, it is excellent as a Zelda-like.
Yeah.
And visually, it's still gorgeous. It's incredible. Like, the hair physics in that game are insane. And I really like it. I think it does a lot to, build lore in Star Fox, which was not a super lore-heavy franchise up until that point. and yeah, it's one of those that I know people immediately look at and just kind of go, I'm not playing that. I'm not playing a Star Fox game with dinosaurs and a staff. I'm not doing that. But you should. If you like 3D Zelda, you should play Star Fox Adventures.
Yeah.
So there you go. What do you got for me?
Well, it's hard for me to choose between the two, but yeah, and this is another one. I'm not going to make you guess it, but I know I've talked about it with you before, but I've got to go Beautiful Joe.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a good game.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
Are we talking the first one?
I think so. I think I want to go with the first one. The second one is so good too, though. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
But I love the introduction of the character in that one. So I want to say the first one. And yeah, I mean, what a cool idea. I don't feel like it was very popular. I have never Googled the sales, how it compares or stacks up against the other, against the library. But I mean, I haven't played anything like it since. You know,
okay.
you play through the game. It's a 2D kind of platformer / brawler, and you are a superhero. You kind of like jumped into the movie screen, and when you run out of like your stamina, you get kind of booted out of your superhero persona back to your average Joe type guy who can't do any of the superpowers. So you got to like just punch and kick your way back until your stamina refills, and then you transform back into Beautiful Joe. And the dynamic art style of that game is so fun because when you're Beautiful Joe and you're all suited up in your cool costume, it's very crisp and very comic book looking in the art style. Yeah. But when you're kicked out back into your average Joe, it's like kind of grainy and a little fucked up, and like it's very just rough. And then when you transform again, it's just so much fun. And then, yeah, you acquire different powers as you go through the game. You can speed up time, slow down time, and it affects the puzzling too. Like you'll slow down time to stop some gears that might do something, or affects your like kinetic energy and stuff. So it's a super fun game if anybody hasn't played it.
Yeah, absolutely. Highly recommend. Okay. Underrated, overlooked, Star Fox Adventures, and Beautiful Joe. Now, as for a hated game on the GameCube.
Tough. A little tough.
Very tough.
Yeah.
I am going just from personal experience here, not really caring so much about what the internet at large has to say about this. I once had a terrible, terrible experience with Finding Nemo on the GameCube. And it was one of the most frustrating afternoons of my life. When I was younger, I was dating someone who had this game and could never really progress. Okay. They were like from the very beginning, like the first screen, and they wanted me to try to help them. They had this game for years and they just couldn't do it. And I was like, I got this. I can do this. I'm a gamer.
How old?
And I couldn't do it.
How old were you?
At this time, I was like 19.
Wait, so hold on. So
the game was old at that point.
You got recruited because
Yeah, it was like this, hey, we have this stupid game. We've never been able to get past this beginning part. And I was like, oh, I got this. And I did not have it.
Oh, man, that's so funny. So wait, hold on. So
stupid. I was Marlin and just these floaty controls, and all I could do was like flip around. And it was so stupid, man.
Oh, man, I'm getting a headache. So good. I love that. So hold on. So you played it as a kid and then you got recruited. No,
I played this as a 19-year-old.
Only 19-year-old.
The one time I played it. Yeah.
Man, what a game to get recruited to. So they're like, hey, listen, check this out, Zach. I need some help and I need it now. I need your help on Finding Nemo.
Yeah. This is probably, it's got to be 8 years after it came out, probably.
Oh, man. Wow. What did you help, or did you say? I was laughing. I didn't hear hardly any of your story.
No, we got nowhere.
Man. Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah. I think eventually we maybe got out of that first screen, but then that was a whole new challenge that just went nowhere. Oh, it was, just mind numbing. just the same repetitive music on loop.
Oh, like just a DVD screen of like the menu.
Basically.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Yikes. Jesus. Oh my God.
Yeah. So not a great pick. This probably no one else in the world feels this way, but that's my most hated game on the GameCube.
I love that. Mine is far less interesting, but it grew from the excitement that all right.
Okay.
My game is Sarge's Heroes, Sarge's War.
Whoa, okay. We've gone from underrated to hated on just one console generation.
Yeah, and here's the thing. So like this is why I hate it so bad, okay? Because I wanted what Sarge's Heroes gave to us on the 64. So I bought this game with my 16-year-old money, or no, less than that, 14-year-old money, which we all know is not a lot of money, okay?
No.
And I was in Gaylord, Michigan, okay? And we were going up north. It's winter. There's not a lot to do. And I'm thinking Sarge's Heroes, yes, what a good time. I bought it, go to my grandma's house with my buddy. We play it. We're like, what did we do to Sarge's Heroes? Yeah. You know? So like I had got this game and GameStop wasn't accessible to me to go return it. So I just got stuck with Sarge's Heroes because I'm going to make it back to Gaylord at 14 years old, in the wintertime. Yeah. So yeah, I got stuck with this game, couldn't return it, and it was just pissed about it. Like they totally changed the gameplay. The multiplayer was like the maps were super tiny. It just sucked, and I was pissed, and I hate it. So I still hate it, and I still have it even. Yeah.
I appreciate how up until this point our picks we've tried to be very objective, and then when we've reached the point where clearly we were children when we played these games. Our experiences are both very personal.
Yeah.
Like this is not right. I guess I was an adult when I played Finding Nemo, but it doesn't matter. Okay. So on the GameCube, the game we're calling Super Smash Bros. Melee. The most innovative game we're calling Metroid Prime. Best at a party is Mario Kart Double Dash. Underrated and overlooked is Star Fox Adventures and Beautiful Joe. And the most hated games on the GameCube are Army Men, Sarge's War, and Finding Nemo, the movie, the game.
Yeah.
So, okay, there you go. We're in the Wii column now.
We're
going to throw it back to you. What do you think for the game of the Wii? This could go in some different directions.
It could. And
remember, you got to play the whole list, so don't blow it early. You know what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm about to do. You know what's coming. It's Wii Sports, baby. That's what's going on. I mean, it is, right? But
I know.
How is Wii Sports also not the most innovative and not the best at a party?
You're saving it. I know. You're saving it. I know. I can feel it. I know that you're saving it. But it's the game. It is to me. Because here's what I'm doing. Let me walk you through my thought process.
Okay.
I'm thinking about the game everybody played. I'm talking about the game people still talk about. When you talk about the Wii, what do we talk about? We talk about Wii Sports. You and I did it authentically, I think, last week. Yeah. We know that's the game. And we know that that's the party game, too. We know it. We know.
Well, okay. Well, thankfully, I've got some pivot points. So I'm willing to put Wii Sports here. I am. Because I think I can cover the rest. I think I mean, I have answers for the rest as well, except one that I don't know what to do with. But anyway, we'll see where it goes. But yeah, me, can I give you what my opposition here would have been?
Yes,
and that is Super Mario Galaxy.
It's not a bad choice. I can understand. I couldn't. I
know you're right.
Even I didn't get wrapped into Mario Galaxy. So that's why it was hard for me to put, because I'm like, I didn't even get wrapped into that one. Okay. But Wii Sports had a fucking chokehold on me. So yeah, to me.
Okay. I really can't argue it. You are correct here. I'm trying to play the map here.
Yeah, I know. You're being strategic, and I can respect that. That's high level strategy. It's just
okay.
It's tough. It's almost like the Wii, with the nature of the Wii. we're battling against ourselves because the Wii is supposed to be a party system.
Yeah, of course. So okay, we have right out of the gate, we have spent Wii Sports on the game.
Big spend.
It has been spent. Okay, take us to most innovative.
All right. This
is
tough.
A ton of options here again,
dude.
Yeah,
the Wii was one of the toughest ones for me because the Wii in itself is innovative. So everybody on the Wii was like, "What are we doing with these things?" You know?
Yeah. Yep.
So it's hard to say what did it best, but I put Skyward Sword for most innovative.
And I really like that answer.
Yeah. But it could be easily argued.
I don't remember the timeline of like when we got the Motion Plus accessory.
Yeah.
I want to say it was 2009.
Okay.
And that game, Wii Sports Resort used that very well as a pack-in with that game.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until 2011 and Skyward Sword that I feel like they nailed it.
Yeah.
The 1-to-1 sword and all that stuff. And Skyward Sword is a great game that like nobody wants to admit they like. Right.
Yeah.
Or they just don't like it, and that's fine too.
That's wild, but okay.
But like, well, I love Skyward Sword.
Yeah, me too. I love it more now. I honestly, as you may remember, wasn't into it as huge when it came out, but
I do recall. Yeah,
love it now. Love it.
Okay,
but no, I mean honestly, and here's the thing. So I'm just gonna get this out front now. I wasn't a huge Wii guy, you know.
Yeah.
So like. Right. We had one and I did love it. I did. It's Nintendo. I embraced it, but I wasn't this was like peak handheld for me time. Sure. So like I was only playing handhelds for the most part at this point in my life. And
we were also getting into games like Call of Duty as a group of friends, and we were playing more Halo than ever. We were kind of moving away from this kind of stuff a little bit.
Yeah. So this is tough. It's tough. And the only argument I have, which again, I think a lot of my arguments for the Wii are going to be pretty hollow, I'm going to be honest. Because of that kind of history that I have with it. I have way more respect and love for the Wii nowadays, but because of the adventure, because of the game, which again, maybe that argument that I keep making, is it bigger for the game or bigger for the console? I think that applies here pretty well. But I think that because of what the Wii offered and what it brought to the table, it did bring a new dimension of gameplay to Skyward Sword. And obviously, there weren't a lot of big titles. You named one of them, Mario Galaxy, that utilized the Wii well. But there really weren't a ton of other ones that really made use of like, here's this cutting edge, I'm just going to call it technology. I would just say mechanic, whatever, that can add a dimension of different gameplay to your games. And Skyward Sword was a huge one. So to me, that's kind of why I went with it, but I'm not super sold on it.
So my suggestion here, again, it's hard. There are so many different ways that Wii games innovated. I would have probably gone with WarioWare Smooth Moves. Was kind of my instinct for this one, just because of the way that they made minigames to really try to take advantage of every little thing that controller could do. But I would agree that Skyward Sword is kind of the ultimate like manifestation of what it is, right? It's evolving the art style and the fidelity of Zelda. It's obviously the controls and the making the most of the motion and Motion Plus and pointer and all that stuff. I like Skyward Sword for this because I do think it's the best application of everything that we can do in a traditional game.
Yeah. Okay. I'm good with that.
So yeah, I'm cool with Skyward Sword. Okay, best at a party. Now we got some good options here.
We do have good options.
We don't have Wii Sports, but we've got some good options. And like I said, I'm not super airtight on a lot of these, but you actually just mentioned my party one. I put WarioWare Smooth Moves for party games.
Okay.
And I like that.
Because of what you said, it made great use of the hardware, and I feel like it was something really good to break out in a kind of a party setting because of how goofy it is.
And I love that. I think in terms of kind of the traditional games you think of for Nintendo as far as strong multiplayer games. It's one of the weaker Smash Bros. It's one of the weaker Mario Karts. I don't like the Mario parties on it. Like there's a lot there. I think WarioWare is good. I think you could make arguments for Wii Play or Wii Fit.
Yeah.
But one I wanted to throw out here, and I'm just curious if this takes you back to a certain point in time. That's Guitar Hero 3.
Oh, interesting for the Wii.
You put the Wii remote in the controller. You remember that?
I do remember that. I never participated on the Wii for Guitar Hero.
Sure. Yeah, you're right. Like it's when we're talking about something Wii centric, it's got to be WarioWare. But I want to shout out the party game juggernaut that was Guitar Hero. But yeah, for that reason, I think WarioWare that's probably a good place for it. How about underrated and overlooked? What do we got?
Man, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even have an answer for this one. I don't even know what to say because the only game was that I have a game listed. I'm just trying to be honest with you about the fact that like I don't know how I feel about this because I put Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Okay.
Because it's something I thought was fun, but like, was it overlooked? Probably not.
I do kind of feel like it kind of came and went. And it's not a bad game. It's totally fine, but I don't feel like it had the kind of longevity.
No, it was
other games on the Wii did.
It was just something that hit our shelves that I thought was fun, and it was something I remember doing on the Wii that I enjoyed. So it's really all I got for that. Not a lot of solid feelings on the Wii.
Sure, and that's again totally fine. There are so many, there are so many Wii games and outside of the mainstream stuff. I mean, there's plenty.
Yeah. A lot of weird games on the Wii.
A lot of weird. Yeah, definitely some weird. Yeah, so it just really depends on what I want to shout out here. So Battalion Wars 2. I love Battalion Wars. We're never going to get another one of those, and that's fine. But 2 just evolves everything from the GameCube one and makes it better. Was one of the first games on the Wii that had online play. I remember doing big battles online, which was nuts. But I think what I want to suggest here is a little game called Zack and Wiki Quest for Barbados Treasure. Which is a point and click adventure game. A little puzzly adventure game. And this game fucks. I mean, it's so good, and it just put it on the Switch, Capcom. Like it deserves to be there.
Okay.
I love it. It's got so much charm, and at this time, it's kind of before the kind of indie resurgence of adventure games. Your stuff like Telltale and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I feel like it occupies a special place for me.
Okay.
And then finally, a hated game on the Wii.
This one was really easy for me because of how tired I was. So here's the thing. This almost made it into one of my other categories because of what I was about to say. But
really?
Yeah, this somehow showed up at a lot of parties for me for the Wii. Not from me, but where I was. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was predominantly family stuff. I want to be clear, not me hosting. All right.
Yeah.
Cousin game.
Cousin
game. Yeah, we love that. I feel like I want to make like a cousin game. It's like cousin game every time we fucking say that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Carnival games.
Okay.
Yeah.
I somehow avoided ever playing carnival games.
Wow.
I obviously remember it being around. Everyone seemed to have it.
Dude.
What's the deal with carnival games?
I don't know. I don't want to say what it was. I don't want to say what I compare this to, but you're going to know because I used to bitch about this all the time. When, you see something and it makes you want to throw up, like it makes you physically sick.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know what it is about looking at the animations on this game, but like it makes me nauseous. like nauseous angry when I see it. Like
Sure.
just how it looks. It is so infuriating. And not to mention the fact that it's like, it feels like one of those games that it's just like, put it out there. People will buy it because they're stupid and they want something of what seems like variety. And then you play it, but it's like impossible because the controls don't make a whole lot of sense. The games are super repetitive. Like it's just ridiculous. And it was very much just, they were like, this is the Wii. This is huge. It's the best selling console.
Yeah.
Put it out. And that's what it was. And so it's like, it wasn't even a good game. It showed up all over the place and I fucking hated it.
Okay, fair. Yeah, I remember it being everywhere. And that seemed to be the consensus, that it was just mindless, kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Slop.
But like, I think everyone hated it because of that. I think so many people ended up with Wiis in their household, and a lot of those households got a Wii because they thought, oh, this will be good when family comes over. And then they were like, carnival game sounds good when family comes over.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Well, I don't like it, but you know what I mean. Okay. When I see this category, and I say that as if I didn't make it up, immediately Metroid Other M comes to mind.
Oh,
that is the other place I thought Metroid would show up on this chart.
That's a good call.
But there's a little bit of good in Metroid Other M.
Okay.
I overall don't like it. It's the only Metroid game I've never finished. It's just, yeah. Maybe one of these days. But I think kind of in the same way you're talking about carnival games being like this weird, like Trojan horse, showing up in everybody's house. I feel like this game that I'm about to mention kind of really tried to coast off the branding of Wii Sports and Wii Fit and Wii Play and Wii Party even. And that is Wii Music. Which is just a soulless pile of garbage that is not fun.
Let's take a fucking look at this.
There's just nothing to it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay.
I'm glad you aren't familiar with Wii Music.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was one of the first things I feel like they showed off. Right? Like it was like, maybe it was even just like a demo concept that they showed off with the Wii. And then it was part of that big E3 that was such a disaster, where they had like nothing worth showing, and that was like the headline. And I believe the demo maybe didn't work. Like, so that was your first sign that something was wrong. And then it just, Wii Music is garbage.
All right. Won't argue that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I would argue that the other Wii branded stuff is all pretty good. At least it's fine.
Yeah, if you say so.
And some of it's great. Yeah. So on the Wii, the game is Wii Sports. No argument there. Most innovative is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Best at a party is WarioWare Smooth Moves. Underrated and overlooked, we've got Kirby's Epic Yarn and Zack and Wiki. And then the hated games are Carnival Games and Wii Music. We've got one more column here.
Mm-hmm.
The Wii U. So I'm going to lead these. The game on the Wii U. Now, this is another tough one, right? Because we already talked about how we didn't want to include games that maybe launched elsewhere.
Right.
So Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD, gone.
Right.
Okay. So the problem is with this is that what I think is the game you don't associate with the Wii U. Right?
Okay.
You don't associate Breath of the Wild with the Wii U.
Are you going Breath of the Wild right now?
Game. That's kind of where I'm at.
Oh, man. See, this, I was wondering if you would do this, because when you mentioned Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, I'm thinking surely Breath of the Wild doesn't count, because that one,
I think it's a little different.
That one,
it was day and date,
They were like, it was a charity that we got that on the Wii U.
Yeah, I think I can easily be talked out of this one. I have another thing that maybe is more in line with what you're thinking, and that is Super Mario Maker. Which definitely I think takes advantage of what the Wii U is all about. The tablet, the touchscreen, amiibo, online stuff. Like, I definitely, and I know it can probably land somewhere else too. But what are you thinking for the game on Wii U? Because this is a tough one.
This is a very tough one. So same as you, it's not going to be I wouldn't argue you on this. I will say the Wii U is where I re-entered the scene here. I love the Wii U.
Yeah.
I put Super Mario 3D World.
And I knew that was going to come up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, you look at this list, you go across the chart here. Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, A Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Smash Bros. Melee, Wii Sports. Does Mario 3D World belong with these?
No.
Does it have the same status?
No, but I don't know what else to put, because like the game, the Wii U game, and we're talking, the reason I wouldn't go Mario Maker, not just because I think it fits somewhere else, but because I don't think it was like the Wii U's secret weapon. I feel like,
okay,
I don't know what the Wii U's secret weapon is, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
Because of where I fall in the rest of the chart, I could put Mario Kart 8, to be honest.
So that is another one that I did kind of think of, and I didn't write down, but I thought of it this morning. Yeah, I mean, that definitely, that probably is the answer.
I think it is. And like, obviously we could spend that somewhere else, like Wii Sports, but Mario Kart 8 was a big deal, because Mario Kart Wii fucking sucked ass. So like big time, the Wii blew it with fucking Mario Kart, and Mario Kart 8 was its return. It was fantastic. It continued to be fantastic until quite literally this year.
Yeah.
So I would say, I mean, it blew our minds then, and it was still blowing our minds now. So I'd have to say Mario Kart 8 for the game on the Wii U, I think.
Yeah, I'm with you there. That really, I should have led with that. That's probably the best.
I know that wasn't even my first choice on there either, obviously, but
all right.
I actually I wrote quite literally Super Mario 3D World, and I put in parentheses Mario Kart 8 or Breath of the Wild, because I wasn't sure about what we were saying, but I don't think it's either Breath of the Wild or 3D World, to be honest. I don't.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's if you're talking like, I bought a Wii U, what are the best games I can buy for this thing? Like, I would say Breath of the Wild, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, like, yeah. But those aren't, you're right, they don't really define what the console is or was at the time. Okay, most innovative. This is maybe where I want to put Mario Maker.
100%. I agree. That's what I put as well. Yep. Easy choice, because this is another one of those good examples. You got Mario. You got a concept that hasn't been really brought up since Mario Paint on the Super Nintendo. This was that revisit. And what a glorious time. We can make our own Mario levels and then play each other's online. Wild. That was awesome. And the Wii U did it perfectly. Still does. Better than the Switch. So I'd have to say Mario Maker is a perfect fit.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it does. It takes advantage, and it's a shame that it took 3 years for the console to get something that really took advantage of it this way.
Yeah.
But we did eventually get it, and it was glorious. Okay, best at a party.
I'm so curious what you're going to put here, because
obviously we used Mario Kart, which I don't really care, right? I don't feel nearly as strongly about that as I did with Wii Sports, but that's okay. I think, you could easily go Smash Bros. 4. That was an excellent game that we all played on the Wii U quite a bit. But I'm going with Nintendo.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, do you remember those early days of the Wii U playing Nintendo Land?
Yes.
And there was simply nothing like it.
No.
Like, all the, the asymmetric stuff with, the Mario chase and the whatever the Luigi's Mansion game was. Like, I loved that kind of stuff.
I have such fond memories playing that with you and our friends at one of our close friends' houses at the time.
Yeah.
Mario Land is so much fun. It's so much fun, in fact, that I wish we had it back. I would play that still. If they could bring that onto the Switch, oh my God. That was the Donkey Kong cart where you got to make it through and you blow on
Which,
the
I mean,
mic.
that's a great example of how good of a party game it is. That is a single player thing
Yeah.
that you're describing. And yet we would just hand it off and try to get the best score.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
It was awesome. It was challenging. And then you did have, that hide and seek Mario, the Luigi's Mansion, like you mentioned, like so fun and different. Yeah, man, that was such a good time. And then the gamepad kind of isolates you on some of the games. It's so cool.
Yeah. And it has a camera, so like when you're in Mario Chase, like you can see
you can see their face. Oh my God. They need that on the Switch, man. I would love having that on the Switch.
Nintendo Land is so good.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Underrated and overlooked on the Wii U, which, I mean, a lot of these games were overlooked, unfortunately. Now they've had a second life on the Switch, which is pretty cool.
This is one that I've mentioned to you before, so you might be able to guess it, but I won't make you. I put Affordable Space Adventures.
Which is a great, This is a game. How many people are aware of this?
I don't know.
Outside of
That's what I'm saying. It's a gem. And honestly, so I don't remember what week it was, but there was a week you noticed that my Wii U was set up behind me. And I actually had booted that game up for the first time in a long time. And what a cool game. That's another one that if they brought back, I'd be really excited, because I did not realize how poorly it had aged visually until I brought it back up. And I may have explained it on the podcast before, but I'll keep it short. Basically, you got two people playing. Well, you don't have to do two people, but it is fun. So if you do have two players, one person kind of controls like what you call like the laser or camera on the ship. And it looks, you can point it around at the cave. You're kind of traversing like this dark, like atmosphere in space where there's, different kind of robots and droids and things that'll kind of try to blow you up. And there's traps based on like how much heat you're putting out or how much noise you're making. And you on the gamepad switch between using a gas engine and an electric engine. And the electric is very smooth and you can kind of glide around. And the gas makes you very shaky because it's like internal combustion. So your whole rig's kind of shaking around. And when you're navigating, sometimes you have to turn your engines off and just let your ship free fall down these caves, turn it back on to get through traps. Like, it's very creative with the puzzling, and it's so brilliant with the gamepad and the Wii controller, the Wii controller being used on the Wii U. So awesome game.
It is a shame, because it looks like, looking at it, and I thought this was the case, this game was only released on the Wii U.
Yeah.
And so and now the Wii U eShop is closed. There is no way to acquire this game.
Man, that's crazy.
It was not released on a physical disc. I believe I have it on my console as well.
Yeah. Lost in Space, this game.
I know we played it, but I believe that I also bought it separately from you. It reviewed well, and it doesn't really look like this developer has gone on to, do other things. So it's a bummer. But Affordable Space Adventures is definitely one of those that unfortunately we can't really steer people to. But I would love if it were available. I did come up with one that I had thought of the other day, and that is NES Remix.
Oh, good one.
I love when they mess with the classics like that. NES Championship Edition that came out last year on the Switch was not that. That was very much just kind of a speedrun sort of deal.
Yeah.
NES Remix, though, very much is, we're gonna mix elements of these different games. We're gonna put you in crazy situations that the game wouldn't put you in. And there's a ton of variety to it. They made a sequel. NES Remix is just one of those little things that was very fun at the time, and I wish, there's no reason that can't be on the Switch. Should be.
Yeah.
Hopefully someday it is, but so that's gonna be my underrated, overlooked game. Affordable Space Adventures and NES Remix. Okay. Hated game on the Wii U. So I don't feel like I feel as strongly about it as a lot of people do. But I know Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival is not very well regarded. I do have that game, and I've played it with friends a couple of times. It's not the worst thing in the world. I do have more Animal Crossing Amiibo than probably the average person. But Yeah, I that might be my most hated game on the Wii U. Do you have anything good for this one?
I do, but I don't really feel strongly for it.
Okay.
So I had an easy answer, which was going to be the Olympics again.
Oh right, yeah, you hate the Olympics.
Yeah, hate the Olympics, dude. But I didn't want to put it because I spoke on it so much in that other episode. But I do hate it.
Okay,
I put Game and Wario.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not a good game.
No,
disappointing, very disappointing.
Right, and I think that's really the point. I didn't hate Game and Wario. I just didn't like it. But I put it on here because I don't really know that I felt really strongly against any Wii U games outside of the Olympics ones. But those weren't only on the Wii U. You know what I mean? So, but I put that just because of what the franchise is and what they've done in the past, and I understand that more now than ever, to be honest, because I've revisited a lot of these games, and this one just didn't hit it for me. The mini games, it felt like it wasn't as imaginative as it had been in the past. So I don't know. I just didn't like it.
100%. So okay, this completes our chart. On the Wii U, we have the game being Mario Kart 8, the most innovative being Super Mario Maker, the best at a party is Nintendo Land, underrated Affordable Space Adventures and NES Remix, and hated Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival and Game & Wario. This was a fun chart. We definitely made some choices here, some tough choices at times.
Yeah.
We agreed on a good number of them, which is always nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so happy Mario Kart 8 is the game of the Wii U and not 3D World. I would have been very upset.
Yeah, that didn't feel right.
Had that been the case. That game's just it's not bad. It's a dud. Like it doesn't have the same oomph that the rest of these have.
Right. Yeah. And Mario Kart 8 delivers. So we feel good about it. It was what it is. That's where it first appeared. You know, like it deserves to be there.
So, I mean, if you're out there listening, you obviously have your own opinions about each of these boxes. I'm sure we would love to hear about them on social media at Pod with Power, in the comment section on Spotify or YouTube of this podcast. And let us know if you enjoyed this format. If was this a slog to listen to? Was it not? I don't know. Could we tighten some things up? Probably. And we'll have to do that in the future. But until then, I'm Zachary Davis. That's Jordan Carlson. And we're going to see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.